music was playing in the background of the nightclub, and Ryan was having a soft drink with her best friend Natalia. So, how's life going with Jungkook? Did something change or not? How can it change when I'm afraid of him? I can't even look into his eyes. He treats you nicely, as you said, still. I'm not a person who built in a mafia surrounding and heard people killing every second days. It's hard for me to accept everything. Ryan got married to Jungkook a month ago with his willingness, as he fell for her at first sight. Then he met her at business party. He gave a proposal and her father agreed easily since his political party was mostly funded by Jungkook. Knowing she was getting married to a scary mafia, Ryan was already afraid of him, and it didn't go away despite knowing he was in love with her. He treated her well in his own way but gave her space too so she could accept the change of her life. But he won't harm you. He married you out of love. I know, and I'm growing feelings for him too, but whenever he is in front of me, I just felt afraid. She placed the glass on the counter a bit harshly and took out a long breath. Don't think too much and let's have dance. Come on. Grabbing Ryan's hand, Natalia took her to the dance floor and both of them started dancing. The loud music was piercing the eardrums of her and she was forgetting all the worries of her life. Following the beat, her body started to sway, her hair were freely moving left to right and there was a smile on her face. She was enjoying at fullest and seeing her like that, her husband, the most fearful mafia king, was smiling. He was also present at the same club for some secret business and was ready to leave but surprisingly found his beautiful wife at the drink counter. His teeth collided knowing she lied to him about group studies and enjoying hair. While his stupid guards were protecting the four walls of Natalia's house, he took steps towards knowing how dangerous for her to roam around like this, but stopped after hearing his name and took a seat beside Ryan. First his chest tightened knowing she was afraid of him, and that was the reason she always maintained a good distance with him despite his numerous attempts, but it felt ease knowing she had feelings for him too and saw her dancing peacefully. But the peace of his heart didn't last longer when a boy approached Ryan and she tried to avoid him. Not understanding the meaning of no, that guy hand slided around Ryan's face and exactly the same moment Jungkook's hard punch landed on his face. Everyone stopped, saw the loud music and surrounded Jungkook who was beating that guy without any mercy. Ryan's heartbeats accelerated knowing he was her husband as his hand tattoos were visible from his hoodie and now what he would do with her. How dare you to touch my woman? His punches were too rough that his nose was bleeding and there were so many cuts on that guy's face which was making Ryan more afraid of him. Ryan, calm down. Never ever touch any woman against her will. Warning him, Jungkook turned to his scared wife and his eyes softened immediately. As he took steps towards her, she immediately backed away out of fear and it indeed hurt Jungkook. I'm waiting for you inside my car. He walked away while Natalia held Ryan's hand and both of them also made their way outside. Don't be afraid, I'll talk to him. Both of them get inside the car and Jungkook started the car engine. There was pin drop silent inside the car which Natalia broke. Actually Mr. Jungkook, I'm the one who dragged Ryan with me. She was genuinely preparing for the exam. She herself got scared as it was not her daily routine to meet a dangerous mafia. But Jungkook just kept silent and dropped Natalia at her home. Rolling the window down, he looked at surprised guards of him. You all are fired. He roared like a lion that Ryan flinched and Natalia was just praying for her bestie. Suddenly, a lone tear left from Ryan's eyes and she immediately looked outside window while wiping the tear. Soon they reached the Jeon mansion and Ryan immediately came to her bedroom. Hiding herself inside the walk-in closet, she changed the clothes while Jungkook was waiting for her. He was calming himself so she won't be afraid of him anymore. After some time, she walked out hesitantly when Jungkook took her hand and pulled her closer. Her figure landed on his muscular one and resting her palm over his chest, she maintained the distance. You shouldn't have lied to me. His voice was soft yet firm. I'm sorry. I'm not asking you to apologize. I'm just saying please don't lie to me again about your whereabouts, because you are not a wife of a normal person but a mafia. You have no idea how they are ready to hurt you because they know you are my life. So please let me know about your whereabouts instead of lying, so I can protect you easily from any harm. I can't afford to see you in any problem. He hugged her tightly while Vian's heart was melting as her husband was truly in love with her. He was not angry, she lied, but concerned for her. Her hesitant arms were ready to surround him, but exactly the same moment Jungkook scooted away and looked at her with a smile. Did you understand? Yeah. She looked down, not meeting his intimidating eyes, when Jungkook placed his finger under her chin and made her look at him. Vian, you should relax around me. Trust me. His words cut by the loud phone call, and taking out the phone, he checked it unwillingly, but it was an important call, so he had to attend. No worry, I'll be there. Cutting the call, he turned to Vian and placed a soft kiss on her forehead gently. Vian, I have to leave for a mission. Please take care of yourself for me, and you can miss me too. Winking at her, he took his leave while Vian's heart was beating fastly. She wanted to ask him when he will return, where he was going, but nothing came out from her mouth. He is scary, but for my innocent heart. Vian was just staring at the big picture of Jungkook, which was hanging above the background wall. She was missing him and worried too, since he didn't even call her or left a single message. I hope you are okay. She was praying when a maid knocked the door, and getting her permission, she came inside. Miss Vian, Mr. Jeon is back. A relief rushed to her whole heart, and she immediately came downstairs to witness him all fine. There he was sitting on the couch tiredly, his sleeves were folded and neck was resting on the back lazily. Jungkook, opening his eyes, he looked at her, and the tiredness just flew away from his body. Come here. She hesitantly took steps towards him, but next moment a gasp released from her mouth as Jungkook made her sit on his lap. Before she could move further, Jungkook wrapped his arms around her. Jungkook, don't be afraid. He whispered, nuzzling his face in the crook of her neck, and closed his eyes just to feel her natural scent. You shouldn't be afraid of a man who loves you beyond everything. His lips were touching her skin, and it was the reason goosebumps spread all over his skin. I would never hurt you, never ever, even with my words. She rested her hand on his shoulder, melting with his soft touch to his heart-filled words. Staying sometimes, he looked back at her with vulnerability and slid his hand under her ear. I know I'm the one who brought you into my dark world, but I'm not scary to everyone, but who deserves, and I'm a human being who knows how to treat people exactly. Please don't push me away, Vian. Don't let fear bound you because of me. Don't hesitate when you are around me, but be yourself, the way who you are, the Vian I fell for. His eyes got moistened, so did her. Holding his hand, which was resting on her face, she placed a soft kiss on it and rested on her lap without breaking the eye contact with him. I promise I won't push you away, but try to work on our relationship just like you do, and just like me, I should also be aware about your whereabouts. You have no idea how worried I was when you didn't even call me or send me a message. I'm so sorry for that, but from now on, I'll let you know where I am and when I'll be back. Good. She smiled, but suddenly he pulled her even closer, and their lips were just inches away. Looking down with hot cheeks, she bit her lower lip. My goodness, stop teasing me. Vian looked at him confused, then Jungkook indicated his eyes towards her lip, and Vian immediately stopped. I was not teasing you. Are you still afraid? No, it just you look at me with those eyes. Which eyes? That it fluttered my heart and couldn't able to think straight. Really? That's exactly the same thing happened with me whenever I see you or look at you. That means... He was smiling playfully while Vian looking at him with curiosity. That means you love me too. Her eyes flickered, a secret smile appeared on her pretty face, and she played with her fingers. I don't want to deny, but I really love you, Jungkook. That's my girl, and I love you too. He kissed her forehead and she hugged him tightly while smiling. Finally, their relationship was coming to the right track and their love story was ready to begin. He was hugging her peacefully until Jungkook's stomach growled and he got embarrassed. Breaking the hug, she looked at him with a smile who was avoiding the eye contact. You get fresh up until I arrange dinner for you. Okay. Packing her nose tip, he walked away. While walking inside the kitchen, she arranged the dinner on the table which maids already prepared, and soon Jungkook came back in his comfy clothes with wet hair. They had a peaceful dinner while talking to each other, and it was the first time happening. Finishing food, Jungkook looked for his banana milk, but it was not there, so he went to the kitchen, but Wine stopped him. Banana milk is out of stock. Why? Because it's unavailable in the store. He rolled his eyes while a pout formed on his lips that Wine couldn't help but smile. You are cute. I'm not. You are Mr. Jeon, Jungkook. She bickered but stopped when Jungkook took her in his arms gracefully and headed to their shared bedroom. I'm romantic too, Mrs. Jeon. Jungkook, no worries. Let's cuddle for some nights before doing. Her cheeks heated up and punching his chest lightly, she hid her face into his chest. Reaching to the bedroom, they cuddled only before sleeping.